On my last night with Chung Shiryin, he was exceptionally out of control. When it was over, before I had even managed to get dressed properly, he handed me a bank card. I'm getting married next month. She doesn't want to see you anymore. Wu Qing, leave Jingcheng. Don't come back. Okay, I said softly, taking the card and replying obediently. Chung Shiryin furrowed his brow slightly. Aren't you going to make a scene? No more scenes. I shook my head with a faint smile. Everyone knew I loved Chung Shiryin desperately, had pursued him for a full 5 years, and had endured countless other female companions coming and going just to secure a place by his side. I would risk my life to take a bullet for him, or put on an apron to cook soup for him. So no one believed I could simply watch as Chung Shiryin married another woman. Chung Shiryin himself didn't believe it either. Some even worried I might cause trouble at the wedding, but they didn't know that I had already promised my mother I would go back home to meet potential matches through arranged dates. However, when I sat in a cafe facing two identical handsome faces, I was completely stunned. Isn't that a bit much? Lying on the soft bed, Chung Shiryin hovered above me, droplets of sweat beading on his forehead, his deep, dark eyes locked unwaveringly onto mine. At such moments, he always liked to keep the lights on. I vaguely remembered my first night with him. I hadn't dared to look directly into his eyes then, shyly hiding in his arms. He had kissed my forehead and chuckled softly. Didn't you say you loved me so much it drove you crazy? Why are you hiding now? 3 years had passed in a flash, and I was long accustomed to his unrestrained passion between the sheets. But our time together was also coming to an end. That night, Chung Shiryin was particularly wild. Though he was never gentle in bed, he had never been this rough before. Exhausted when it finished, I could barely lift my arm. He leaned against the headboard, smoking lazily. After a while, I picked up my dress from the floor. Before I could put it on, his low, hoarse voice suddenly reached my ears. I'm getting married next month. She doesn't want to see you. He stubbed out his cigarette and handed me the bank card. Here's 10 million. Wu Qing, leave Jingcheng. Don't come back. My fingers clenched around the fabric of the dress, turning white at the knuckles as I gripped it tightly. A bitter taste spread through my heart. I closed my eyes briefly, fighting back tears, then accepted the card and gave my docile response. Okay, my compliance actually caused his eyebrows to knit together again. You're not going to argue with me? I smiled faintly and shook my head. No arguments. He had been very cold towards me for the past month. I'd already mentally prepared myself for separation. It was just that I'd originally thought Chung Shiryin felt at least some genuine affection for me. But the next evening, at his usual clubhouse, I overheard a conversation between him and his younger brother. His brother asked, "You're really dumping Lin Wu Qing? She was so utterly devoted to you. For these 3 years, you only had her around. We all genuinely thought you'd defy the family and marry her." Chung Shiryin played with his lighter, speaking nonchalantly. Marry her? What are you thinking? She's not fit to marry me. Everyone present detected contempt in his tone and exchanged glances. Someone else asked curiously, if you don't love her, why keep her around for so long? Chung Shiryin raised an eyebrow. She's clean, obedient, low maintenance. I just didn't feel like switching to another woman, that's all. Standing behind the slightly ajar door, I felt like icy water had been poured over me from head to toe. My whole body went cold. Yes, how obedient I was. I wouldn't even let him frown because of me. If he told me east, I never went west. If he told me to stand, I never sat down. In those 3 years, I'd only ever acted up twice. Once when I found a lipstick mark on his shirt collar, and once when I saw a female celebrity sitting on his lap. On both occasions, I hadn't said a word, just sadly picked up my bag and left. For several days after each incident, he didn't see me. Both times ended with Chung Shiryin banning, sealing off the other party, effectively ending their careers or social standing. That arrogant man had, incredibly, patiently explained himself for the first time ever. They threw themselves at me. I never accepted them. Wu Qing, since having you, I haven't touched anyone else. Stop making trouble and come home with me. When outsiders mentioned Third Master Chung, they said he was arrogant and domineering. So, the tiny bit of tenderness he showed me made me mistakenly believe he had feelings for me. But now it turned out everything between us had nothing to do with love. It was merely because I was convenient and easy to manage. Those 3 years were just my one-sided fantasy. If that was the case, what was there left to hold on to? Wiping away the tears from the corners of my eyes, I turned around and booked a flight ticket back to Jingcheng. Before leaving, I attended a friend's birthday party. I never expected to see Chung Shiryin there. Ningxi smiled sweetly, her arm linked through his. He bent his head to talk to her. Who knows what he said that made her pout angrily and pinch him hard enough to make him yelp in pain. Still unsatisfied, she huffed and turned her head away. Chung Shiryin lowered himself to appease her, his voice surprisingly gentle. a tone I had never heard before. He held her and gently pecked her lips until her attitude softened. I had never seen this side of Chung Shiryan, stripped of all his sharp edges, his gaze brimming with boundless indulgence. I had never dared to act so freely in front of him, and naturally, he would never condescend to placate me like that. Our vastly different social standing destined me to be the subordinate in our relationship. But Ningxi was different. She had a noble background worthy of matching his own. Unlike me, she wouldn't be looked down upon. An indescribable acidity churned in my chest, and my eyes gradually reddened. Just then, Chung Shiryan suddenly looked over. Our gazes collided unexpectedly mid-air. His expression faltered momentarily. His embarrassment was impossible to hide. Flustered, I turned my back on them, struggling desperately to suppress my heartache. Halfway through the birthday banquet, lost in thought by the swimming pool, a clear feminine voice sounded overhead. "Why haven't you left Jingqing yet?" I looked up. Ningxi stood looking down at me imperiously, her tone haughty. "Aren't you satisfied with the 10 million you got? Do you still plan on seducing brother Shiryan?" Lin Wuqing, I've seen women like you before, thinking you can marry into wealth just because you have a pretty face. Don't you realize your lowly status makes you unworthy? They belong to the privileged elite, born believing they're superior. I had no intention of arguing with Ningxi. When I stood up to leave, she grabbed my wrist. Her temper flared dramatically. "Why aren't you answering my questions? Guilty conscience. I warned you, stop fantasizing foolishly." To Chung Shiryan, "You're no different from a club hostess. Both sell yourselves, just at different price points." Harsh words stabbed into my ears, piercing my heart. With all my strength, I tried to yank my hand free. "Let go. If you must go mad, pick someone else." Her feet slipped suddenly. She toppled backward with a loud splash into the pool. "Help. I can't swim," she flailed desperately. Panicked since I couldn't swim either, I watched her thrashing in the water helplessly. Thankfully, Chung Shiryan fished her out just in time. As soon as she regained consciousness, she sobbed into his arms, accusing me wildly. Lin Wuqing pushed me. "She almost killed me. Before I could defend myself, I didn't mean it." Chung Shiryan cut me off harshly. "Lin Wuqing, apologize." His icy glare sliced through me like a blade. "Do you want to die? Xiaoxi's life is priceless. If anything happened to her, 10 lives wouldn't compensate. 8 years loving him, 3 together, countless intimate nights. Yet this was how he saw me now." Acid churned in my chest. Choking back emotion, I said flatly, "I told you, it wasn't intentional." She pulled me. I tried to break loose. She slipped. Ningxi clung to Chung Shiryan's sleeve, weeping dramatically. "Shiryan good, don't listen to her. She's shifting blame." At her word, he believed it. Eyes narrowing dangerously, he barked. I said again, "Apologize to Xiaoxi, or else, that 10 million? You won't leave Jingqing with a single cent." Never had I imagined him threatening me like this. Part of me refused to yield, but without love, why lose the money to? Teeth gritted against the lump in my throat. I forced out, "Sorry, Miss Ning. Please be magnanimous and forgive my rudeness." Turning immediately away, tears blurred my vision as they hit the ground and vanished, along with any remaining feelings for Chung Shiryan. This time, I truly left without looking back. Back in Qingqing barely days later, Mother started pressuring me into blind dates. Early mornings meant being yanked from bed to primp before heading out. "Make sure you behave properly." She drilled me. "Land him on the first try." Exasperated, I laughed. "Mom, I'm 27, not 37. Do you have to rush?" Her logic was unshakable. Handsome billionaires are rare commodities. Hesitate too long. All that's left are duds. Today's prospect? Handpicked perfection, apparently. Yet sitting across 2 identical handsome faces at the cafe, suddenly 1 in 10,000 felt more like 2. Though brothers shared looks, their styles diverged sharply. Younger brother Xuanyan rocked black leather biker gear, silver hair streaked under ear gauges, utter rebellion personified. Older brother Xuanrui wore tailored charcoal gray suits, dark hair swept severely back, a corporate titan vibe. Thoroughly confused, I asked point blank, "Which one of you gentlemen am actually meeting here?" Xuanyan grinned roguishly. "Both of us, sweetheart. Buy one, get one free. You totally scored." Mortified silence stretched until Xuanrui shot his sibling a warning glance. "Xuanyan, shut up before you scare her off." Instantly cowed family hierarchy works wonders. Xuanyan mimed zipping his lips, while making exaggerated locking motions. Only then did Xuanrui turn back, gaze gentle. "Miss Lin, my brother and I both admire you greatly. If acceptable, perhaps spend time equally with each? Later decide who suits better." Xuanyan couldn't resist adding fuel. "Course, if you want to keep both, no objection here." One chilling stare from Xuanrui later. He sheepishly mumbled, "Joke, just joking. Honestly, didn't hate them, but dual dating felt excessive." Mom shrugged philosophy. "They don't mind sharing. Why waste free benefits? You won't lose." Spending time with the Xian brothers grew comfortable fast. Simultaneous double dates became routine, mostly because Xuanyan's mouth ran relentlessly. Like during shopping trips when girls approached asking for contacts, he'd jet his chin toward me, drawl smugly, "Sorry ladies, late arrival." This fine specimen's taken by both my bro and me, stared at open-mouthed. Potential suitors eventually gawked at me before muttering things like, "Damn, she eats well." My face burned crimson, wished fervently for instant burial tunnels. Even after those girls walked away, still stealing glances back. "Xuanyan, can you spare my dignity at all?" Rubbing temples wearily, he countered innocently. Wasn't that epic enough validation? Utterly defeated until Xuanrui intervened sternly. "Xuanyan, desist harassing Wu Qing or I revoke next quarter's racing team sponsorship." Instant submission. "Bro, please no. Won't happen again." Among racers worshipping him as kingpin? Around. Xuanrui though total pushover. And Xuanrui himself? 2 years younger yet exuded maturity beyond age. Zero vices detected. When not globetrotting with us. Buried himself expanding family empire efficiently. Frankly staggering how stellar sons like these existed. Imagine Mrs. Xian's pride levels. Meanwhile in Jingcheng, wedding bells nearing, Cheng Shiyan grew restless even trying gowns with Ningxi. Shiryinge. Several calls later he blinked aware. Frustrated bite of lip from Ningxi. "How do I look?" Flat reply gutted her. "Fine." Finally snapping. "Were you thinking about her just now?" Referring to me. "A girl like that background," disdain thickened her voice, "doesn't deserve occupying your thoughts." Spoiled youngest daughter of influential Ning clan, also raised by Cheng Shiyan himself. Their world demanded strategic unions. Marrying familiar childhood friend Ning she felt far preferable than strangers. Couldn't offer equal love perhaps, but lifetime protection? Absolute. Anybody dared mistreat her? Instant retaliation guaranteed. Faced with direct interrogation though, soft talk pacified first. "Just planning our honeymoon destinations. How could I think others?" Somehow managed soothing Ning she post-dress fitting into dinner date. Dropping her home afterwards drove aimlessly, until somehow pulling up outside my old apartment building. Didn't tell anyone but truth? At bridal shop earlier. Yes, thoughts drifted toward me. Past 20 days without seeing me, kept recalling moments instead. She had loved him fiercely. 5 solid years pursuing despite rejection after rejection. 3 years prior in Australia during an assassination attempt. Instinctively shielded him with her body. That sacrifice finally moved him enough to give their dynamic chance. 3 years later, admitted slight fondness existed. She obeyed beautifully after all, but affection stopped miles short of love. Marriage impossible anyway. Our worlds collided poorly. Lately though, constant reminders surfaced unbidden, especially remembering poolside scene forcing apology. Her shocked disbelief tearing up eyes must have hurt deeply. Annoyance likely too. Still given her devotion level. Easy fix surely. Sweet talk would win her back easily. No heavy lifting required. Just extend invitation. She'd bounce right back beaming tomorrow probably. With these thoughts swirling in his mind, he confidently dialed her number, only to hear a male voice answer. "Hello." Cheng Shiyan instantly tightened his grip on the phone, brow furrowed as he demanded, "Where's Wu Qing?" Silence followed. Instead, he heard Lin Wu Qing suddenly cry out in pain. "Ow! Ow, Xuanyan, gentler please." Cheng Shiyan's heart clenched violently. Assuming the speaker was named Xuanyan, he opened his mouth to confront him when another deep voice interjected calmly, "Xuanyan, don't use so much force. Be careful with Wu Qing's skin." Then came a second masculine reply. "Got it, bro." Blood pounded at Cheng Shiyan's temples. He couldn't contain his fury anymore and roared into the receiver. "What are you doing? Lin Wu Qing, what exactly are you doing with those 2 men?" When his furious voice boomed through the earpiece, Xuanyan happened to be massaging my ankle. I'd sprained it earlier that day from wearing killer heels. Naturally, Cheng Shiyan jumped to conclusions. Taking the phone from Xuanrui's hand, I spoke coldly toward the man on the line. "Do you have something to say?" Cheng Shiyan pressed relentlessly. "Who were those 2 men just now?" "Blind date candidates," I replied. He exploded. "You went on dates? Didn't you tell me to leave Jingcheng and never disturb you or your fiancé again?" "I never said you could go on dates," he seethed. "And I certainly didn't permit you to fool around with them." My tone turned icy. "My ankle hurts. Your mind is filthy. You see dirt everywhere." Unwilling to waste another word on him, I added quietly, "Mr. Cheng, I've obeyed you obediently and stopped bothering you already. Please grant me the same courtesy." Before he could retort, I hung up and blocked his contact info. "Ex-boyfriend?" Xuanrui asked later. I nodded vaguely. Xuanyan scoffed playfully. "Sister, your taste leaves much to be desired. How did you ever fall for that macho alpha alcohol. It was the first time anyone called Chung Shiryan an alcohol. Chalshingnan. If he'd heard it himself, steam would have shot from his ears. Amused, I chuckled softly. Enough about him, it's bad luck even discussing him. Honestly, I had no idea why Chung Shiryan suddenly contacted me. Timing-wise, half a month remained until his wedding with Ningxi. Strange he'd waste time meddling in his ex's life. Didn't he fear Ningxi finding out? Well, I did. One slap in my lifetime was plenty. No thank you for round two. Yet here's the kicker. Next day, there he stood downstairs like some dark cloud following me. Stared at him dumbfounded till he approached grimly and dropped this bombshell. Come back with me. Excuse me? You kicked me out. I reminded flatly. His gaze darkened ominously. I regret it. Say what now? Couldn't wrap my head around it. Does this mean you're calling off the wedding? Want us back together? My voice dripped sarcasm. Don't you think that's utterly unfair? Why should I scrambling when you tell me to go, then rush back when you snap your fingers? He shook his head slowly. Not quite. Voice heavy as lead. The marriage stands, Wu Qing. Know your place. Someone like you isn't worthy of entering our family name. But pause deliberately. Everything else you desire, within reason, I can provide. Turns out he was even crueler than imagined. All I felt was exhaustion weighing down every bone. Young Master Chung, after saving your life once upon a time, do me a favor? Stop trashing what little dignity I have left. K took a step forward, only to feel his hand clamp around my wrist like iron shackles. This isn't trashing, he insisted. You love me, can't live without me. Why refuse my offer? Rarely lose temper, hate confrontations, but now, boiled over completely, wrenched free violently while shouting, Chung Shiyun, asking me to be your mistress, is treating me like garbage, unfazed by logic. It's normal practice in our circles. Don't overthink it. My response sliced through the air frostily. Other people's business means nothing to me, but I draw lines, hard ones, and frankly, I don't love you anymore. He laughed dismissively. You don't love me? Preposterous. Time for reality check. If I still loved you, would I be going on dates? Things progress smoothly with my suitors. We might even get engaged soon. Newsflash, you're replaceable. Eyes narrowed sharply studying my face, seemed convinced finally by my deadpan expression. Thin lips pressed tight. Before delivering his final threat low and dangerous, think carefully. One last chance. Refuse? You'll never get me back. Tilted my head away decisively. Your chance? Not interested. Give it to someone who wants it. Teeth grinding audibly. Now, fine. Don't regret this. Stomped off dramatically. Honestly, regret was impossible. Only profound relief flooded me. Escaped him. Distancing myself brought true happiness closer. Men who don't cherish love don't deserve it anyway. Next day at the mall, ran into Xuanrui inspecting operations. Literally towered above everyone amidst his entourage. Impossible to miss even briefly. Remembered this shopping complex belonged to their family corporation. Hesitated approaching since he worked there. Too late. He spotted me first. Wu Qing. Forced halt abruptly. He strode over briskly. Shopping? Smiled politely. Saw you busy. Didn't want to interrupt. Casual shrug accompanied by slight curve of lips. Just finished up actually. Mind if I join? Agreed readily. Sure. Looking for anything specific. Paused thoughtfully. Flats or low heels maybe. Avoiding stilettos after yesterday's disaster. Escorted me into a shoe boutique where sales associate brought options over. Watched stunned as Xuanrui dropped onto one knee instantly to help fit them myself. The clerk clearly recognized him. Eyes nearly popped out seeing royal treatment given ordinary customer like me. Feeling awkward under her gossipy stare. Pulled foot back discreetly whispering urgently. People watching. Unaffected confidence met my concern. So what if they see? Can't stop me being attentive. Made me seem overly prudish somehow. Mumbled apology instead. Tried two pairs loving both equally. Headed toward checkout counter only to learn payment already processed by Xuanrui. Brand was luxury label. Refused firmly offering repayment via transfer which got rejected immediately. Compromised stiffly. Then let me treat dinner tonight? Accepted graciously. Deal. Mid-meal before dishes arrived fully. Xuanyan burst and panting heavily like raced here full speed. Startled badly. Join us? Plopped beside brother grumbling. Loudly. Bro broke rules. Secret meetup with Wu Qing without telling me? Saw photos pop up group chat or still clueless? Xuanrui remained unruffled explaining neutrally. Coincidental encounter. Turned questioning looked toward me seeking. Confirmation nodded truthfully satisfied temporarily before turning back accusingly at brother. Promise fair competition. No sneak tactics allowed. Amused snort escaped me teasing lightly. Cute much? Cheeky grin flashed instantly. Thought. So, pick me directly then. Guarantee daily smiles unlike my iceberg brother here. Rested chin palm staring pointedly at said iceberg. Reminded gently. Earlier claimed happiness happy taking both. Dramatic sigh paired with helpless gesture. True story. Wanted keeping promise, but bro trying monopolize you. Forced counterattack. Glance instinctively toward Schwanrue, catching intense possessive glint darkening his eyes briefly. Heart skipped beat unexpectedly. Pretended nothing happened, lowering gaze hurriedly. Once food served, neither moved chopsticks, instead dedicating themselves solely serving me. One peeling shrimp delicately while other cracking crab shells expertly. Overwhelmed protestation immediate. Really unnecessary. I managed perfectly fine myself. Xuanyan utilized length advantage, effortlessly dismantling crab meat while glancing up mock seriously. Can't risk damaging those precious hands meant playing. Violin. What if claw scratches happen? Treated like fragile glass sculpture honestly? Pointed out practically. Hands tougher than professional race car drivers surely. Undeterred charm offensive continued smoothly. In my eyes, most valuable treasure exists right here. Charmer indeed, surrendered laughing softly. Alright, thank generous care then. Winked cheekily, adding quickly, no problemo. Meanwhile Xuanrue piled mountains of peeled shrimp onto my plate methodically. Stopped him midway, pleading gently. Enough truly, cannot eat mountain alone. Gaze lingered, fingertips few seconds longer than comfortable, before meeting eyes directly, profound intensity making breath catch slightly. Vortex seemed pulling deep into fathomless darkness within those pupils. Forced casual withdrawal masking sudden quickening pulse, discreetly dropping gaze, murmuring hurried thanks, refusal further assistance politely. Xianrue gave a calm smile. Days passed peacefully. Every day felt light and joyful for her. About 10 days later, she suddenly received a call from Gu Fan, Cheng Shiyun's best friend. Wuqing, he said. Shiyun's been drinking way too heavily lately. Could you call him and talk some sense into him? She felt utterly helpless. Mr. Gu, she replied. Cheng Xiao and I broke up long ago. If you need someone to persuade him, shouldn't you go find Ningxi? Gu Fan explained. What good would finding Ningxi do? Shiyun's drowning his sorrows because of you. Xianrue had absolutely no interest in Cheng Shiyun's affairs anymore. It's his choice to drink. Don't pin everything on me. I refuse to be his scapegoat. Seeing little point in arguing further, she abruptly ended the call. Gu Fan stared at the disconnected line, sighed helplessly, then turned to look at Cheng Shiyun, dead drunk, brows tightly knitted, eyes closed as he slumped against the sofa. Tomorrow was his wedding day. When would he start acting like a groom? If you really can't let go of Lin Wuqing, Gu Fan pressed, then go get her back. He couldn't stand seeing Cheng Shiyun in this half-dead state. Don't wait until she marries someone else before you regret it. Cheng Shiyun stubbornly shot back. Just some woman. I can have as many as I want. Who does she think she is? Why should I bow my head? Gu Fan threw up his hands. Fine, keep telling yourself that. You'll cry later. After leaving, the empty living room felt desolately cold. Cheng Shiyun began reminiscing. Every time he got drunk before, Lin Wuqing would make him honey water, coaxing him gently to drink it down. At the first mention of a headache, she'd softly massage his temples. She took such good care of him, so well that even his brothers often envied him. No matter how far away she was when he felt restless, she'd immediately book a flight home to accompany him. She rarely acted spoiled or demanding like other women, never asked questions he didn't want answered. She was always quietly by his side, always there when he looked back. So, Cheng Shiyun never imagined a day when Lin Wuqing would say she didn't love him anymore. Even after he dumped her, he still believed she could never forget him. Yet his ears, his heart, his mind, all clearly remembered her words. I don't love you anymore. How could she not love him? How could she go on dates? How could she marry another man? The thought of another man holding Lin Wuqing someday made it hard to breathe. His heart felt pierced by sharp needles, throbbing with dense pain. It hurt so much, tears welled at the corners of his eyes. He nearly suffocated under the agony. No, he wouldn't allow another man to hold Lin Wuqing. She was his alone. He couldn't lie to himself any longer. He truly loved her. He needed her back by his side. He'd give her anything, marriage, love, all his possessions, power, money, status, everything shared with her. An abrupt ringtone shattered his thoughts. Lowering his gaze, he saw Ningxi's name on the screen. Right, his primary task was to call off the engagement with her. Upon hearing his intention to cancel the wedding, Ningxi reacted with anger, panic, and deep hurt. Brother Shiyun, the wedding is tomorrow. Do you have any consideration for how this looks for me? How can I show my face afterwards? He paid no heed to her distress and suggested bluntly, you can announce publicly that you didn't want to marry me. I don't don't mind being talked about. Knowing his mind was made up, Ningxi still felt bitterly unwilling. Is it because of Lin Wuqing? What's so special about that lowlife, cheap woman? She isn't even fit to carry my shoes. What do you see in her? Cheng Shiyun's expression darkened instantly. He would not tolerate anyone insulting Lin Wuqing. He warned harshly, Ningxi, I never want to hear you speak like that again about her, or else don't blame me for being rude. Utterly devastated, Ningxi cried, we grew up together for over 20 years. How can you threaten me for an outsider? Without hesitation, Cheng Shiyun declared, Wuqing isn't an outsider. She's my lover. Hearing him confess love for Lin Wuqing broke Ningxi's heart completely, but seeing her cry so miserably moved Cheng Shiyun not at all. He hung up decisively. His mind was now consumed solely by Lin Wuqing. He burned with urgency to see her, tell her he loved her, take her home, spend his life with her. I originally hadn't taken Gu Fan's words that night seriously, but when Cheng Shiyun called off his engagement with Ningxi and came back to Qingqing begging for reconciliation, I was genuinely shocked. Have you gone mad? I asked. I'm not mad. He gazed at me intensely. Wuqing, I just realized. I fell in love with you a long time ago. Those words meant nothing to me now. I replied coolly. I understand, like you loved Dowdu being his dog. But Cheng Shiyun, I continued firmly, I don't want to be your pet dog anymore. Panic flashed across his face as he desperately tried to explain. I was an idiot. If those words hurt you, I apologize sincerely. From now on, I won't repeat such mistakes. I'll put you on equal footing. Please give me one more chance. I'll marry you, give you everything you desire. You'll be first in my life always. People you dislike, I won't see them. Things you hate, I won't do them. Coming from someone as proud as him, these promises were remarkable, but it was far too late. His apologies and declarations held zero appeal for me. Unnecessary. I smiled indifferently. I don't want your guilt or feelings anymore, Cheng Shiyun. There's nothing left to say between us. Starting to walk away, he grabbed my arm. His voice dropped to an unprecedented level of humility. Don't go, Wuqing. Don't leave me. I truly can't live without you. His grip was ironclad. I couldn't break free. Annoyed, I glared at him. Let go. He became shamelessly persistent. Promise you'll let me chase you again, and I'll let go. Exasperated, I retorted. Is it really necessary? You have so many exes. Must you come crawling back to me? His eyes dimmed, a bitter smile touching his lips. But I only love you, Wuqing, he murmured hoarsely. These past days, I couldn't stop thinking about you even in my dreams. My heart remained utterly still water. That's your problem, I stated flatly. It has nothing to do with me. Now please, immediately, let go of my hand. He obstinately held on tighter. Thoroughly fed up, I seized an opportunity when his guard was down and kicked sharply towards his groin. He crumpled instantly with a grimace of agony, releasing his hold. Seizing the chance, I bolted. Just as he recovered enough to give chase, Xian Rui appeared out of nowhere and blocked his path. I wasn't sure why Xian Rui happened to be near my place, but thank heavens he was there. I managed to escape. Standing protectively before me, Xian Rui fixed Cheng Shiyun with a cold stare and mocked sarcastically. A man harassing his ex-girlfriend on the street. Do you have any shred of shame left? Fuming, Cheng Shiyun snapped back. This is between me and my girlfriend. It's none of your business. Xian Rui scoffed disdainfully. Ex-boyfriend, maybe you should clarify your position and stop acting like a lunatic. I chimed in support. Exactly, Cheng Shiyun. We broke up over 40 days ago. Stop coming around causing trouble, or I'll just end up hating you more. At that, Cheng Shiyun's face paled slightly, calling out to Xian Rui. I urged, come on, let's go. Don't waste any more time on him. All right, Xian Rui agreed instantly. As we turned to leave together, Cheng Shiyun's desperate plea echoed behind us. Wuqing, don't go with him. I pretended not to hear and kept walking without looking back, getting straight into Xian Rui's car. Once seated inside, Xian Rui unexpectedly offered, I can arrange 2 bodyguards for you. If your ex bothers you again, they can protect you. My business keeps me busy. I can't always be around. Feeling his concern was excessive, I politely declined. Thanks really, but that seems a bit dramatic, don't you think? You won't last long anyway. I know Cheng Shiyun well. Born with a silver spoon, adored even among elite circles, someone used to being looked up to won't endure much more rejection from me. After pondering briefly, Xian Rui conceded, all right then, but if you run into trouble, promise you'll call me immediately? Of course, I assured him. Then curiosity struck me. By the way, why were you near my place today? He answered simply, honestly, almost shyly. I just wanted to see you, so I came by. Knowing his younger brother Xian Yan's temperament, he added hastily, honestly planned to just watch from afar and leave. You know how how explosive Xian Yan gets if he finds out I saw you alone. Seeing me getting harassed forced him to step in. The image of Xian Yan losing his cool made me giggle. Your brother is hilariously overprotective. Xian Rui tensed slightly at my laughter, fingers tightening unconsciously on the steering wheel as he held his breath. His gaze flickered nervously before asking cautiously, "You like Xian Yan?" I took a moment to consider seriously before answering truthfully, "Like him? Yes." Instant gloom clouded Xian Rui's features upon hearing those 3 words. Luckily, I was staring straight ahead at the road and missed his reaction as I continued casually, but not that kind of like, as in romantically, more like liking a little brother. He's got such an amusing personality. Hanging out with him is always fun. But honestly, I shrugged helplessly. It's hard to see him as anything but a kid sometimes. You know how childish he can be. Relief washed over Xian Rui's face. His lips curved upwards uncontrollably as he nodded vigorously in agreement. You're absolutely right. He is incredibly immature, definitely not husband material. His delight was palpable. Glancing sideways at him suspiciously, I teased, "You seem unusually happy hearing there's no romantic spark between me and your brother." Unfazed, Xian Rui grinned unapologetically. Naturally, we both laughed then. Still chuckling, I warned jokingly, "Aren't you afraid Xian Yan might punch you for saying that?" Xian Rui waved it off confidently. "Nah, he can't take me down." Skeptical, I countered. "Really? Doesn't seem likely." He brushed aside my doubt with cheerful certainty. "Trust me on this." Satisfied, I dropped the subject. Just then, an alert popped up on my phone calendar. Oh no, almost forgot. I need to grab concert tickets. Frantically unlocking my screen and launching the ticket app, my hopes plummeted instantly, again, as the tickets vanished seconds after going on sale. Leaning back dejectedly against the seat, I groaned, "When will I ever get to see a concert?" Noticing my screen, Xian Rui offered smoothly, "No worries, I can ask the organizers directly for tickets." My spirits soared back instantly. "Seriously, you can do that?" "Yep, promise," he confirmed, true to his word. Later that very evening he called me with fantastic news. He'd secured amazing seats. Overwhelmed with gratitude, I stammered, "How can I ever thank you enough?" He paused meaningfully before suggesting softly, "Hopefully, if you really want to thank me, let me accompany you to the concert." His voice held warm anticipation as he added quickly, "Naturally, I wouldn't dream of turning down an offer to watch a concert with someone special." Thrilled at the prospect of company, I accepted readily. The concert venue week later was electric, practically one giant sing-along session. Caught up in the energy, I sang along enthusiastically too. After each song finish, Xian Rui thoughtfully handed me water from his flask so my throat wouldn't get strained. "Thanks." I'd take small sips carefully. Toilet breaks were inconvenient. Throughout the entire show, Xian Rui spent less time watching the stage and more time looking at me. Strangely enough, it didn't bother me one bit. Instead, I kind of enjoyed his undivided attention. Post-concert chaos ensued as crowds surged everywhere. We nearly got separated twice before Xian Rui instinctively grabbed my hand firmly. "Just making sure you don't get lost in the crowd," he explained simply. His large warm hand engulfed mine completely, radiating comforting heat against the chilly early autumn air wrapping around us both somehow perfectly. Gazing down at our joined hands felt exceptionally sweet somehow. Amidst the noisy throng surrounding us, I became acutely aware of my own hammering heartbeat, rhythm completely thrown off balance. And yes, I recognized this sensation clearly now. It was called heart racing. Towards him. Yep, no denying it anymore. I knew for sure now. I had developed feelings for Xian Rui, so I stopped struggling and let him hold my hand. Xian Rui seemed to sense my surrender and tightened his grip. Suddenly, someone shoved me from behind. I stumbled straight into Xian Rui's arms. Instinctively, he caught me by the waist. "You okay?" I lifted my gaze and met the depths of his dark eyes. My cheeks flushed. "I'm fine." He curved his lips. "Then let's go." When we reached the open street, we were still holding hands. He showed no sign of letting go, and I made no move to pull away. An early autumn breeze swept past. I sneezed. "Cold?" he asked, lowering his eyes. "Not really." He started to slip off his jacket. I shook my head. No, I'm not cold." He didn't insist, only tucked my hand into his coat pocket. It was an intimate gesture, yet so natural. Everything felt like it was meant to be. The air itself seemed sweet. I couldn't stop the corners of my mouth from lifting. Xian Rui's low, magnetic voice brushed my ear. "What are you smiling about?" I tipped my head back and looked straight at him. "What are you smiling about?" His smile was even wider than mine. "I'm happy." He gazed at me, full of tenderness. "Wu Qing, thank you." "Thank me for what?" "For not pushing me away." I hesitated. "Then are we officially together?" He gave a soft "May I hug you?" With permission, he slowly folded me into his arms arms gentle, as though I were a priceless treasure he feared might shatter. We stood like that for a long while. Suddenly I remembered something. What about Xian Yan? How do we explain to him? Xian Rui stroked my hair. Don't worry, I'll handle it. Okay. Even after we got into the car, Xian Rui kept holding my hand. Laughing, I reminded him, hey, driving one-handed is dangerous. Still not letting go. I really don't want to, he said, suddenly boyish. I want to hold you for the rest of my life. All right. I nodded. He laughed, his brows and eyes relaxed, heart-stoppingly handsome, moved. I lifted my other hand and brushed my fingertips along the corner of his eye. Has anyone ever told you your eyes are especially beautiful? Many people, but I only care when you say it. He tilted his head and let his lips graze my palm. The soft touch made my hand tingle. Embarrassed, I murmured, hey, give me a warning next time. All right then. Miss Lin Wuqing, may I kiss you? Since you asked so sincerely, yes. The next second he leaned in and kissed me, softly, sucking gently on my lower lip until I felt lightheaded from lack of air. Only then did the kiss end. Xian Rui drove me home, hand in hand. We walked to the entrance, only to find two tall figures waiting. Sis, when did you and my brother get together? Wuqing, you're with him? Xian Yan and Cheng Shiyan spoke at once. My head throbbed. How had we landed in a melodrama? Both of them looked awful. Xian Yan glared at his brother. I couldn't find you anywhere tonight. I knew you'd come to Wuqing again. You promised me you wouldn't make a move behind my back, yet you stole my wife. Xian Rui regarded his little brother the way one looks at a child. Xian Yan, Wuqing chose me because we love each other. To her, you're only a little brother. Xian Yan turned to me, aggrieved. Sis, is what my brother said true? Though I hated to hurt him, I nodded. Don't worry. Your brother and I will take care of you together. Xian Yan slumped, muttering miserably. My wife became my sister-in-law. Is there anyone unluckier than me in the whole world? He looked so pitiful it was almost funny. Before I could comfort him, Cheng Shiyan seized my other arm. Wuqing, you can't be with another man. You promised to stay with me for life. Before I could react, Xian Yan shoved Cheng Shiyan away. Get your filthy hands off her. My sister didn't even want me. Why would she want a psycho like you? Get lost before I beat you. Clearly unable to blame his brother, Xian Yan vented all his anger on Cheng Shiyan. Cheng Shiyan ignored him, focusing only on me. For the first time in my life I heard him plead in such a humble tone. Wuqing, please don't be with him. Come back to me. I'll treat you well. Whatever you want, even if it's the moon. I'll pluck it for you. I felt nothing. I simply told him, calm and cold. Right now, the only thing I want is for you to disappear and never appear before me again. His face went white. His voice trembled. Do you have to be so heartless to me? Xian Rui drew me half a step behind him. Mr. Cheng, when Wuqing loved you, you didn't cherish her. You have no right to ask for her pity now. Cheng Shiyun's eyes reddened. He kept begging. Wuqing, don't be cruel to me, please. I wanted a clean break. Cheng Shiyan, stop clinging. The way you refuse to let go is cheap and disgusting. I feel sick every time I see you. Understand? I'm not good at arguing. That was the nastiest language I could muster. Seeing the loathing in my eyes, Cheng Shiyan looked utterly broken, lips trembling. Still, he didn't give up. For the next month he followed me every day, seizing every chance to declare his love and regret, until the words grated on my ears. Then one night Xian Rui stayed over. Cheng Shiyan stood downstairs like a lost soul, smoking through the entire night. After that, he vanished from my world. I heard that after returning to the capital he spent his days in bars, drinking himself senseless. Ningxi, who'd been jilted, remained devoted, trying to win him back, but he refused to see her, never giving her a chance to come close. I didn't care about either of them. The news slipped from my mind. After Xian Rui and I got together, Xian Yan never openly clashed with his brother, but he brooded for a long time. Afraid I'd damage their relationship, I decided to talk with him. That afternoon Xian Yan sat on the steps, cigarette dangling from his lips, speaking lazily. Sister-in-law here to watch the show? I sat half a meter away. Of course not. You're my good friend. I want you to be happy. He flicked ash from his cigarette, smiling carelessly. Easy to make me happy, dump my brother and date me. I didn't know what to say. Seeing my distress, he added lightly, kidding. Don't take it seriously. My brother really is better for you. Steady, responsible. You'll be happy with him. As for me, don't worry. I'm cool. I'll forget you soon enough. But I could taste the bitterness behind his smile. Xian Yan, I wanted to comfort him. You're wonderful. Anyone who spends time with you will like you. His eyes turned red. He looked away. When he spoke again his voice was steady. Do you know when my brother and I first met you? I blinked. Wasn't it at the blind date? Xian Yan shook his head. Of course not. 3 years earlier, in Australia. Xian Nian had gone for a competition while Xian Rui was there on business. By coincidence, they stayed at the same hotel as Lin Wuqing and Cheng Shiyan. Back then, Wuqing wasn't yet Cheng Shiyan's girlfriend. Xian Nian watched her chase after Cheng Shiyan day after day, bringing him tea, asking if he was comfortable, while Cheng Shiyan hardly noticed. She never gave up. Xian Nian couldn't understand how someone could give their heart away without the slightest response. He and his brother made a bet. I give her 2 weeks. Max, she'll back off. Xian Rui disagreed. Not necessarily. His brother was right. A month later, during a chaotic shooting on an Australian street, Lin Wuqing took a bullet meant for Cheng Shiyan. Xian Nian still remembered her white dress soaked crimson as she lay in Cheng Shiyan's arms. The brothers visited her in the hospital. Only after confirming she'd survived did they fly home. Yet for 3 years that image, white dress, red blood, never faded. Later, learning she and Cheng Shiyan had broken up and returned to Qingqing for matchmaking, neither brother wanted to yield. They agreed to compete fairly, losing to Xian Rui. Xian Nian felt dejected but accepted it. One was his brother, the other the woman he loved. He only wished them lasting happiness. I hadn't known our story began so long ago. I stood stunned while Xian Nian rose, his usual playful grin back in place. Alright, starting today you're my official sister-in-law. At your wedding I'll drink an extra toast. Left hand in his pocket, he sauntered off, waving his right hand. See ya. I won't stay and be a third wheel. Only then did I notice Xian Rui approaching. The brothers brushed shoulders. Xian Nian deliberately bumped his brother's arm and lifted his chin. Sorry, didn't see you there. Xian Rui laughed helplessly at the childishness. Xian Nian, still proud, hummed, wish you and sis-in-law a long happy life. He swaggered away. Xian Rui watched his brother's back, smiling softly. I stepped forward and slipped my arm through his. He's made peace. Xian Rui kissed my forehead. What do you want for dinner? Will you make me steamed fish? Of course. The sunset painted half the sky red. We walked slowly, hand in hand. I laughed up at him. So you fell for me 3 years ago? Xian Nian told you? He gazed at me tenderly. Back in Australia, I thought, if I could have you, my life would have no regrets. Thankfully, fate was kind and finally brought you to me. Since you've loved me so long, how about a reward? I asked with a smile. He raised an eyebrow. What reward? I rose on tiptoe, leaned to his ear and whispered, tonight, I'll wear black lace. How's that? His Adam's apple bobbed. Dark eyes smoldered. Good. I think it's going to be a very unforgettable night.